A big hello from me, welcome back to Paul Rolls Dice and welcome to another Mandalorian Adventures video. And today we are taking on episode 3, so let's open up our little narrative book and we will dive in to episode 3, The Prisoner. I didn't really know if I'd ever see you in these parts again. They have a little shaky hand. I hear things, like maybe things between you and the guild aren't working out. I'll be fine. So what's the job? Yeah, one of our associates ran afoul of some competitors and got himself caught. So I'm putting together a crew to spring him. We get you in, or we get in, we get out, and you don't have to see our faces anymore. Okay, on to the setup for episode 3, The Prisoner. So, characters we have available are the Mandalorian, Migs Mayfeld, Jian, and Berg. For this playthrough, I will be running it with 2 characters, as I did last time, and I will be running the Mando and Migs Mayfeld. So, the objective is Breakout. All characters and the prisoner found on a triangle threat token are in the starting space at the end of any player's turn. So, this is the guy we're looking for. He is in one of these locked prison cells, so we'll have to figure out how to get into there, and we'll get to that in a minute. Failure for this mission is a character defeated, or now there is an additional way to fail. This is the first time. The New Republic arrives. 5 damage tokens are on the tracking beacon, and we'll explain how we can trigger the tracking beacon in a second. Mission rules: security breach. When the prisoner is revealed, spawn 1 reinforcement in the starting space and each respawn space. So we have starting space there, respawn there. Reminder, the prisoner is not an enemy or a character and therefore cannot be dealt damage. That is cool. We also have a character called Lant Davan. When Lant is defeated, place 1 damage token on the tracking beacon. If you've seen The Mandalorian Season 1, you'll know this character is unfortunately in the episode of the prison break, and he meets an untimely end, so it's up to us. We can kill him, but it will trigger one of the tracking beacons. So the tracking beacons will be triggering on a crisis, which is a 6+ across our actions. So discard the bottom card of the planning deck. If it is the bad luck card, place 1 damage token on the tracking beacon and shuffle the planning discard pile back into the deck. That is very dangerous because we could accidentally trigger this multiple times. A couple of map rules to go over at the top as well. So on the setup, before placing threat tokens on the map, place Lant found on a circle threat face down in the control room, which I have done just here. Door controls: when you end your movement in the control room, unlock all doors, flip all square threats on the map face up. So you'll probably notice we do have some threats already face up on the map. These are the guards patrolling the corridors, but we do have some threats that are yet to be discovered. They will all trigger as soon as we get in here. Full alert. The entire facility is on alert and we need to get out of there quickly. But we still need the prisoner. So that is the setup. And we are ready to begin the mission. We've also added the disrupt tokens to all of our abilities, and you will notice in this mission we have a new option, and this is escort. So it plays out like any other of our action slots. They can be disrupted, they can generate events, and they can generate a crisis. This is what we're going to be using to move the prisoner around. So I'll just read what this states. If you are within range number of the face-up prisoner, so based on the strength of the card, move him up to 2 spaces, but not into spaces with threats. We have our deck, and we are on begin the 3rd game. Stop here. After you complete your 3rd game, win or lose, flip. So that is our narrative deck. We will put that there. We have Mando and Migs on the board, and as I did state the last time we played, because it's been quite a breezy time, quite a simple time, quite an easy time, we are now flipped over to their normal difficulty side. So we are no longer on the novice, which means Migs has 5 health instead of 7, and the Mando has 6 instead of 8. We'll see how it goes. The deck has been shuffled. We will draw our starting hand of 4 cards, and we will begin round 1. So we have 1 card for each character. Let's just put them together. So we have Flamethrower and a Strength 4 for Mando. We have Automated Weapon Mounting and Anticipate for Migs. Now, these are new cards to us. So, Automated Weapon Mounting. Instead of performing this action, so instead of performing 1 damage at range 1, deal 1 damage to up to 3 different targets within range 2. That is pretty cool. We also have Anticipate. for our planning action. Deal 1 damage to a threat within range 2 on top of drawing 4 plan cards. That is very cool. Okay, so we have a couple of bad guys on the board. We've got a blaster pistol, we've got a melee pistol here, and we have a melee little mouse droid there. So I think we just need to get the ball rolling, don't we? So flamethrower is 2, but then deal 2 damage to an enemy in your space in addition. I think we need to do that. So Mando is going to... Oh, that's a big card, though. That is a really, really big card. Deal 1 damage to a threat within 2. Instead of performing this, deal 1 damage to up to 3 different threats. So would that mean up to 3 different threats? So could I stack the damage with this card? Would that allow me to, say, do 2 damage to one and 1 damage to another? Because it says 1 damage to up to 3... No, we can't. I've read it. Reading the card explains the card. So I think from the get-go, we are just going to have to do this. It is a massive, massive card to waste right now. But we're going to do a move 4. Mando is only going to move... Ooh. Sentry will trigger. If we end a movement within space 1, we will deal 1 point of damage. Face-up tokens. Pretty sure because they're face-up, we can move through them. Let me just double-check, because we could just run past him, to be honest, and not end within sentry. Okay, double-check. We cannot run through tokens. So I think the best thing to do then is, so we don't end the move within 1, Mando's going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to stay there. Then we're going to move 4. We'll use the entire 4 because we want to take advantage of flamethrower. So second card of the turn, it has to go in the second slot. Mando is going to use flamethrower, which is a strength 2 damage, but then flamethrower will do an additional 2. Total of 4. He is dead. He's blown away straight away. Right, that is our turn done. We now go through the steps of a turn. So action step is done. We now go to event step. So starting from this, we sweep our way across. Is there a 6? Is there a 5? We move on. So move, it's not a 6, but it is a 5. We will draw an event. So we have an event, and it is Vengeance. All melee units move 2 spaces. Only 1 melee unit on the board, so he's going to go 1, 2. That's a little mouse. Those ones that go... 1 melee unit attacks at range 0. If no enemy attacked, we need to flip it over, and this is now going to go on our move space. And this is, when you play a skill card here, discard a random skill card from your hand. That is awful. We will then, so that connects there. We will then discard the disrupt token. This goes into our discard pile just over this side. That is now done. We move across the board. 4, 1, 2. No more. We now go to the draw step. We have 2 cards in hand. We will draw 2 cards. So we get 2 Mando cards. So we've got Beskar armor and we have a strength 2. New round begins. Okay, so first things first, we need to get here in the bottom right to unlock the prisoner doors, find the prisoner, get him back to the starting location. Whew. Okay, what do we do? Mando could go again, but when we place a skill card in move, we've got to discard a card. That is awful. Okay. Ooh, range 2. We can actually hit this guy here. When we do line of sight, we draw from one corner to another. So I think Migs is going to put automated weapon mounting into attack. He's going to ignore this one, and we're going to do 1 point of damage to up to 3 different targets. So you get 1. You get 1. And the mouse droid gets 1. Mouse droid goes boom. The mouse droid is dead. I've got dog hairs everywhere. I do apologise, guys. Okay. 1 more action, but if we do a move, we are going to have to do this thing. Do you know what we could do? We're going to use Beskar. We're going to put Beskar on plan. Instead of performing this action, search the planning deck and discard pile for 1 defend card. Take it and then shuffle the deck. So we'll search for discard. We'll search for defend. This is now equipped to Mando. I'll put that on the left hand side. Remember, you can have 1 of each type of these planning cards attached to a character. I couldn't have 2 defend on Mando, but he could have a defend and something else and something else. So That's 2 actions done. We then go on to the events, starting here again. Nothing. This is at 5, which means we will get rid of these, discard, and we will draw an event. So, Blaster Fire. Two ranged enemies are going to move 1 space each. So, 1 and 1. Remember, there's no limit to how many tokens can be in a space. And then 2 of them will attack at range 2. Now, unfortunately, Miggs is getting whacked twice. That is not good. Miggs has been hit for 2 points of damage. He's down to 3 already. We then discard this. So that goes there. End of the round, we draw back up. We get 2 more cards for Miggs, so we have quick draw. After you look at a threat or move an enemy with this action, deal it 2 damage. That's good. And we just got a straight 3 plus 1 for plan for moves. So I think Miggs is going to stay put. We really do need to kill these guys. What could we do? If we quick draw, if we put that into intel, after you look at a threat or move an enemy with this action, deal 2 damage to it. So I'm going to quick draw with Miggs. So we're going to put that there. So it's power 2. I'm going to drag this guy into my space. After we've done that, we trigger the ability. We deal 2 damage to it. So it is now on 3 damage. It's still got one left. So it's still alive. But then we've got a card left. I think we're going to do a plan. So this is 4. So we're going to trigger the 4 first. Then we will trigger this. So we're going to draw 4 cards. We're hoping for something good. We get to keep 1. Bad luck. So bad luck gets discarded. So we'll put a discard pile down here. Discard, discard. We've got retaliate and defend. After an enemy deals you damage, even if you blocked it, discard this to deal 2 damage to that enemy. I think we're going to take defend because Miggs is getting hit just a little bit. So what we do is we keep 1, place 1 on top of the deck, discard the rest. So I've discarded the 2 bad lucks and I've put the retaliate back on top. That is Miggs' action. We're going to trigger anticipate at the bottom of the card. Deal 1 damage to a threat within range 2. I'm going to deal 1 point of damage to this guy. So he is going to die. Farewell. That is our actions done. We now go on to events. So starting over here. Nothing, 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 nothing. This is at 7, which means we do trigger a crisis first. Discard the bottom card of the planning deck. If it is bad luck, place 1 damage token on the tracking beacon and shuffle the planning discard pile. So we don't want this to be bad luck. Bottom card, it is bad luck. Okay, so place 1 damage token on the tracking beacon and shuffle the planning deck. Discard pile back into the deck. So 1 damage on the beacon. Remember, if this gets to 5, it is game over. So the timer has already begun, guys. We need to hurry up. We need to get into this. We need to get into the control room. Okay, so we then draw back up. So we'll draw 2 cards. We have a card for Mando and we have a card for Miggs. Right, how do we want to do this? We're still going to have to discard the card if we move, but this thing is in the way. These are now gone as well, so we discard those. Threat has now disappeared from planning, so that is good. Those are now shuffled into the pile with the rest of them. Right, what do we want to do? Mando could attack and hit this, but we kind of need to get rid of that little mouse droid. It's been a bit of a pain, but we will get hit with Overwatch. Okay. Miggs is going to go first. Miggs is going to attack. We don't get this bonus, but we are going to hit for 2. This thing dies. Farewell. Now it's Mando's turn. I think Mando is going to activate the Amban Pulse Blaster. Oh no, we can't. We've done an attack this round. We can't put 2 on the same one in a turn, so we can't. Ooh, okay. We don't really want to flip this over. We're going to have to run around this map, I think. So Mando... Oh, no, you know what? Miggs. Miggs is going to trigger move. So he is going to put it there for 3 plus 1. So he's going to get to move 4. But when you play a skill card here, discard a random one from your hand. So we're going to shuffle these. This is the discard. We get rid of the power 2. So it means we get to keep it Amban. That is cool. Miggs gets to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Miggs is on his way now. We need to get down there. End of our turn. We're going to check for events. Nothing. Also, last turn, when I did a crisis, I should have drawn an event card, so we'll reveal it now. Okay, so something of melee would have moved, something of melee would have attacked. There were no melee on the board. Nothing in the game state changed, so that means we need to spawn a reinforcement on the nearest reinforcement space. Back then it would have been this, so he's now face up. We've now got a level 4 blaster pistol. I caught it. Okay, we draw 3 cards. So 1, 2, 3. We're back up to 4. So how do we want to do this? And we can only get rid of this when we event our crisis. Do you think it's worth Mando attacking something right now? Because we do have a boy on the board. When performing this action, ignore enemy abilities. You can also move through damaged enemies. Okay, but they're tokens, so we can't move through them just yet. Amban, blaster rifle. Mando, 3. So instead of doing 3 damage at range 1, we're going to trigger its ability. Instead of performing this action, deal 3 damage to a threat at exactly 3 away. 1, 2, 3. We flip it and hope it's a bad guy. It is a bad guy. It has 2 health. It dies. That went well. Okay, we have 1 action remaining. Migs. Migs is going to trigger a move. When we do a move, we have to discard a card randomly from our hand again. So we shuffle, 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 shuffle. Get rid of that one. It is the power 4 card, so we get to keep the power 3. When performing this action, ignore enemy abilities. You can also move through damage. We don't need to do that. We are going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. This is now going to trigger the map rules. When you end your movement in the control room, unlock all doors, flip all square threats on the map. We also flip our lad. Now, if we kill him, tracking beacon triggers. We now flip all squares. This is now dangerous. All bad guys are now alerted. The alarm is raised. Big scared, but all of the prison cells are open, and now we need to find our prisoner. He is in one of these 4. Now, we don't know what these are. These could be bad or could be good. I don't really want to trigger them. Oh, okay, so we've done an attack. We've done an infiltrate. So we did attack, move. We're down to 1 card. We now go to the end. Nothing. This is going to trigger a crisis. Discard the bottom card. Pray it's not bad luck. It is bad luck. Oof. And then we shuffle it back in. That means another token goes onto the tracking beacon. We can only have 3 more. If we kill this guy, he's also going to trigger one. So I'm going to try my best not to kill this guy. He's going to be a bit of a threat if he's damaging us, but it's probably not worth killing him at this point. But we'll see what happens. So we remove all of those, which means this goes, finally. We can move without stress. We will then, because that was a crisis, we will now trigger an event. And we have draw attention. Flip the nearest face down threat face up. So the nearest face down threat to Migs would be this one. And the door is unlocked, so it will flip. Whoa, that is a strength 5 bad guy. Oh my lord. Uh-oh. We now move to attack. No crisis, but we do have a threat. Right, all. Ooh. Do not move sharpshooters and pistols. Enemies that are within range 2. Or do not move sharpshooter and pistol enemies that are within range 2 of the nearest character. So he's not going to move. He's also range 2. But everything else on the board will now move 1, and it is take the high ground. Wow. Okay, this is terrible. So we're going to start from this side of the board. So everything. He's going to move 1. He would go that way because he's closest. He would go there. He would go there. He would go there. He would go there. He is range 3, so he is actually going to move. So he's going to move there, but he walks his closest to him. That was big. Then we actually need to do this. Wow, it adds 3 threats straight away. That is terrible. During the event step, add this card's strength to this action slot. During the event step, add this card's strength to the action slot. So this automatically starts at 3 now. And this was for attack. So that starts at 3. These will get discarded. We move along. Nothing else. We draw back up to 4. So we draw 1, 2, 3. So we have Triggerman. That's a new one. Right, remember, this is the new one. This counts as 5, irregardless of what's on the board. Deal 2 damage to a threat within 3. If that threat was already damaged, resolve it twice. That's pretty good. Sneak attack, deal 2 damage to an enemy in your space. Use this before resolving abilities. Ooh. That is pretty good. Okay, so we need to get to these essentially. He's kind of okay down here. We don't really have to worry that much. We do have defend on us, but I feel like Mando needs to start doing things now. He's not really done much. So Mando wants to get to one of these prisoners, but there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening. Lots of enemies are on the board. These are a problem as well. Mando is going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. And then, Mando. So we've already done a move, so we can't really do much else. He could do automated weapon mounting. No, you know what? Hang on. We're going to take that back, guys. That was a bad idea. My bad. Mando's going to use sneak attack on move, so he's going to go 1, 2. Deal 2 damage to an enemy in your space. Use this before resolving enemy abilities. So that guy takes 2 points of damage. Then we've got 1 action remaining. Mando's going to have to do 3. So we're going to throw it into attack. He's going to do 3 damage to this. Enemy dies. It's always better to get an enemy off the board. That is our turn. We will then go to the event step. 3, 2, 6. So that means we have a crisis. Reveal this. Please don't be bad luck. It is bad luck again. Oh my god, we're out of luck in this one, I think. That is now on 3. We need to get the prisoner out before this triggers again. We will shuffle that, and that will go back there. Okay, that's that done. Discard those. That goes there. That goes to the discard pile. Nothing, nothing, nothing. We draw back up. We draw 2 cards. Tracking fob and a 1. Okay. Whew, we really need to get to these prison cells. What we got? Moves there. Deal 2 damage to a threat within range 3. Okay, we're going to have to start making some moves. So we treat this as a 5. Okay, because we've got a line here and a line there, we can hit this guy. We are going to have to do this. So we're going to do Trigger Man. Deal 2 damage to a threat within range 3. If that threat was already damaged, resolve this ability a second time. Oh, hang on. Okay, no. Take it back, guys. This first. Mando is going to do a strength 1 against this guy. There we go. Now we trigger Trigger Man, because it's damage, we get to trigger it twice, meaning 2 damage twice. So 4 points of damage. He dies. Oh, this is stressful. That's our turn fully done. We now go across the board. We treat this as a 5, so we don't get a crisis, but it is an automatic event. So those hit the discard. We'll do this. A sharpshooter hits something at range 3. After an enemy attacks, move it 1 space away from the nearest player. So 2 sharpshooters at range 3. Nope, nothing happens, which means we need to respawn because we didn't change the board state in any way. And a reinforcement will spawn there, and it's power 5. Oof. Go across the board, nothing happens. We will then draw 2 cards. So we have Get In, Get Out, disrupt up to 2 damaged enemies. Use this before resolving abilities. That's pretty good. Disrupt up to 2 damaged enemies at any range. Okay, so we really need to start getting towards these prison cells. This is getting very, very heated. There's a lot of bad guys on the board right now. Migs is going to do a move 3. 1, 2, 3. Then Migs is going to... I think he's going to have to do automated weapon mounting. Instead of performing this action, deal 1 damage to up to 3 different threats within range 2. Only 2 are in range, so we'll whack him for 1. We'll whack him for 1. It's not the best, but that's all we could really do. We now go to the events. Nothing triggers. We draw back up to 4. I really like the mechanics of this game. If you have a small turn, then the enemies might not activate. They only activate when you start doing big things. Ooh, Migs has a strength 4. Ooh, man. We could disrupt. We could disrupt 2 damaged enemies. We could trigger Get In, Get Out, meaning these 2 wouldn't activate. Okay, so if we do disrupt an enemy, we can stop it activating for a turn, but I think we're going to save that for now. I think we just need to go guns blazing. We need to really damage some of these guys. So Migs is going big. We're going to do 5 points of damage to this. It is a bit overkill, but he does die. So that is good. We have one action left. We need to move Mando. Mando needs to start exploring some of these spaces as well, I think. So Mando is going, ooh. We're already doing a crisis. Okay, right. We're gonna do, what do we do here? Draw planning card. I think Mando's going to plan, so he's going to draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. We keep one. He already has... Ooh, draw 2 extra ones. Move it to 2. Right, he's going to take Mobilize because Mando's already got a Defend. We're going to put Mobilize at the top, and we're going to discard Strategize and Defend because we have to discard the rest of them. So they will go there. And I think that's our turn. So events, nothing. This is 6, so it is going to trigger a crisis. So we discard those. We look at the bottom card of the deck. Wow, we're lucky for once. We will discard that. I don't think we shuffle it if we don't find it. And shuffle the planet. No, we don't. It's only if we find bad luck. Okay, so that's that one done. We move across. That's on 3. That's on 3. We are good. We will draw 2 cards. Mando gets a card. Migs gets a card. Okay. Ooh, deal 5 damage split as you choose between any threats within range 1. Mando really needs to get in. We need to kill this as well. What do we do here? Is it between range 1? We could, you know what? Yeah, I think we're going to have to do this, guys. Mando is going to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He is going to trigger Sentry because we've ended a move, but we're going to discard Defend to avoid the damage, so that's good. Then we are going to trigger Whistling Birds, our new card. Deal 5 damage, split as you choose between any threats within range 1. That is incredibly powerful. 4 to him, 1 to him. Whistling Birds do their job. They are dead. That is our turn. We go to the events. This is going to be a crisis because we're on 7. So we discard. We will then do crisis. So we take the bottom card, flip it over. It's a defend. So we are safe. We will then draw an event card. Spawn on the nearest. Ooh, that's not nice. And then spawn on the other. And that is not nice as well. Wow, they are big enemies. Then we go to this. This is treated as a 5. So we will go straight to an event. Close quarters combat. The nearest enemy moves 1 space towards you. Then, if it is in your space, it attacks. So the nearest enemy. So who trigger the nearest enemy? So it's just 1. Moves 1 space towards you. There we go. It will attack. Mando is going to get hit in the face. It's his first point of damage in the game. We will discard that. That's on 3. That's on 3. We will draw back up. Okay, we get a Mando card and a Mando card. So we've got 2 each. What we got? 1, and we've got Gauntlet Whipcord. Disrupt an enemy within range 1. Use this before resolving abilities. Okay. Right, we really need to figure out what we're doing here. I think he's damaged. I've got a plan. Migs is going to attack 2, which means he does 2 to this guy. So he's down to 3. Migs is then going to trigger Get In, Get Out. We're going to put this on move. Disrupt up to 2 damaged enemies. Use this before resolving abilities. So we're going to disrupt. So what we do is we put a disrupt token on these 2 enemies. And the next time they would trigger, they don't trigger. And I get to move 1. Okay, that is turn. I think that's the best thing we could have done right there. Then we go to the end. We check events. No events. We draw back up. We draw Migs. Ooh, Migs and a Migs. Right. We need to figure this out. Mando can move out of that space, but we kind of need to move Migs, don't we? Okay. Migs is going to disrupt an enemy within range 1. Use this before resolving. Okay. Right, Migs is going to move 4, and he can move through disrupted. 1, 2, 3. We flip it. It's not the prisoner, it is a melee. Heck. But then Mando is going to trigger Gauntlet Whipcord, and we will put that on. Ooh, we're going to put that on plan, which means I get to draw 1 card as well. Mobilize. Mando's already got mobilize, he can't keep it, it goes to discard, and I get to disrupt an enemy. End of our turn. We go to this. This is an event, so we discard those. We trigger an event on move. Deal 1 damage to any 1 character. I'm going to deal it to Mando, because Mando is on 5. He's now down to 4. Okay, that's that one done. No event, no event, no event. We will draw 2, but we've run out of deck, so we will shuffle. It's getting stressful, guys. It's getting stressful. Okay, we will draw. I really love this game. So we have another Migs card and a Mando card. We have Tracking Fob for power 4, Triggerman, deal 2 damage to a threat within range 3. We don't really want to be in this room, but he does have grapple, deals you 1 damage if you move out of its space. So Migs is kind of stuck there, unfortunately. Okay, we've got a plan. Migs is going to attack. 2 points of damage to him. Migs is then going to do Triggerman, which is move. Deal 2 damage to a threat within range 3. We're going to deal 2 to him. We're going to kill it. That is our turn. This is now a strength 5, so we will trigger an event. All blasters move 1. So he's going to move 1. He's a sharpshooter. He's a melee. He is a sharpshooter. That is it. Then 1 ranged. 1 blaster attacks at range 2. So it doesn't hit anything, but we did do this, but we will trigger this part here. If no enemy attacked, we put this into the space. When you play a skill card here, draw a dual card. Reduce your card strength by its tough value. That is awful. That goes to discard. That goes there. No event, no event, no event. We will draw 2 cards. So we get a Mando and a Migs. We've only got 1 Migs card. Right, how are we doing this? Damn. Either way, when we're going to move, we're going to reduce its strength, but we need to get into one of these rooms. Migs 4. So we draw a dual card and we reduce the power 4 by the number on the card. We reduce it by 0. That is superb. Absolutely fantastic. So it is a move 4. 1, 2, 3. We reveal it. And there is the prisoner. Right, okay, we've got him. We need to get out. We need to get out. We need to get onto here. So let's have a look at the trigger for the objective. All characters and the prisoner are in the starting space at the end of any player's turn. Right. Migs has gone. We now need to do escort. If you are within range number of the face-up prisoner, move him 2 spaces, but not into spaces with threats. Okay. Mando is going to use escort. I'm at range 1, 2, 3. I can move him 2 spaces. 1, 2. That is turn. We now go to events. This is going to trigger a crisis, so we have to do that first. So that is 7. Oh. Discard. Bottom card of the deck. It's mobilize, so it's not a bad look. That is good. We do trigger an event though. All sharpshooters move 1. So instead of activating, we remove the disrupt. So we remove that. We remove that. Then 1 sharpshooter attacks. Now, because I removed that, would it still attack this turn? Let's double check. Okay, we've read it. So the wording is, anytime it would do something, you remove a disrupt token and they can have up to 2 on them. So it removed 1 because he would move, but now he would get to attack. So 1 sharpshooter attacks at range 2. He will hit. He's going to whack Mando. Mando's now taken 3 points of damage. He's down to half life. We really need to sort this out. And then we will discard. No event, no event, no event, no event. We will draw 2 cards. We've got a Mando card and we have automated weapon. Right, this guy's in the way of the prisoner, so we need to get him out of the way. So Mando is going straight in with a flamethrower. 2 damage, then deal 2 damage to an enemy in your space. Dead. Then I'm going to trigger this on escort. I am within range 1. Move the prisoner 2 spaces. 1, 2. He's getting there. End of turn. Nothing. Nothing. Event. Luckily no crisis because it's only 5. So draw an event. Spawn at the nearest respawn point. So he will go there. 1 sharpshooter at range 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Mando gets whacked again. Mando's taken 4 points, guys. He's on 2. If Mando dies, it's game over. Oh, okay. We can do this. We can do this. We draw 2 cards. We've got a Migs. We've got a Mando. Okay, so Mando is... Ooh, that's Beskar armor. That's so good. You know what? I think in this instance, this guy needs to go. He really needs to go. Right, I just need to think about this, guys. We need to really, really think about this. Okay, right. First of all, I think this is the best thing to do. Migs needs to also be on this space. All characters need to be there. So Migs is going to do the anticipate. So we're going to put it on plan, which means we get to draw 4 plan cards. Keep 1, put 1 to the top of the deck. Delete the others. 4 cards. Okay, so he's already got a defend. So we're going to take we're going to take retaliate, I think, because when I'm dealt damage, even if you block it, you get to hit back. I'm then going to put a defend at the top, and then we've got to discard the other 2. So that is card number 1, but we get to do this. Deal 1 damage to a threat within range 2. Threat is within range 2. We do 1 point of damage. Okay, next. Mando is going to use a big strength 4 to whack this guy for 4, 5 health. He is dead. That is probably the best thing we could have done. We now go on to the events. No trigger, no trigger, no trigger, no trigger. Trigger. That is a crisis. We grab the deck. We look at the bottom card. It is a retaliate, so we are safe. Discard all of those, but an event will trigger. Spawn an enemy on the starting space. Each enemy not within range 3 of the nearest character moves 3 spaces towards them. Oh, okay. Not within 3. He's within 3. He's within 3. So he moves 3 towards them. Oh, this is bad. 1, 2, 3. He's got that on him, so he won't activate. Then, after you use a skill card's ability, deal a damage to any character. So that's going on plan. Wow, that's awful. That is awful. So, where was that event? That was on plan. Draw 2 cards. We're getting so close to doing this, guys, but it's getting a little bit spicy as well. Whew. Migs is stuck. Migs is stuck right now. Tracking beacon is flying up. We do have defend and retaliate, so that's good. So if he's dealt damage, he can whack him back. So, I think... Mando is going to... I mean, this guy is potentially going to move and shoot Mando. So that's a problem. We just need to get Migs out. Migs is kind of causing issues right now because he's just stuck. But we've only got 1 card with Migs, so Migs is going to use automated weapon mounting. Instead of performing this action, deal 1 damage to up to 3 different threats within range 2. There's only 1 there, so he's going to whack for 1. So that'll do that. Mando is going to... Oof. After you use a skill card's ability, deal 1 damage to any character. So that is a skill card's ability. I'm going to deal... Ooh. I'm going to have to deal a point of damage to Migs. So Migs is down to 2 as well now, because he's taken 3. Oh, this is bad. Okay, what is Mando doing? I feel like Mando needs to do this to draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to take defend for Mando. We are going to put retaliate at the top of the deck, and we're going to bury bad luck and strategize. End of turn. No event, no event. Event triggers, so we will discard those. Event. 2 blasters attack at range 3. So he's going to swing at him. He's going to deal a point of damage to Migs. We are going to block it with defend, and then we are going to trigger retaliate. Even if damage is blocked, deal 2 damage. He is dead. So he's out of there. If a character's carrying a child, that doesn't matter. And that's that. So that's that done. We then draw 2 cards. God, this is so... Oh, hang on. Yeah, he did it. He couldn't attack. Okay. Oh, could he attack? No, I don't think he could. Right, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We've still got defend. We've got mobilize. Right, we need to get Migs out of there, guys. Migs really needs to get the heck out of there. So we're going to use... When perform this action... No. Migs is going to use this on move. So it gets +1, so it's 4. But we do have to draw and reduce it by this. Reduces by 2, and then we discard. So he moves 2. So 1, 2. So at least he's out of there. That's that. But then he is kind of... It's kind of stuck. I can't really do anything else. Oh, no. Mando's going to move 2. He's going to go 1, 2. No, we can't, because we've already done move. So what do we actually do here? Ooh, hang on. Intel. I move it 1 space. Okay. Might have an idea. He can't move into a space with an enemy, but can I move an enemy into his space? Interesting. Interesting. For us, not an enemy, cannot be dealt damage. Not into spaces with threats, yes. So, I've got an idea. Migs is going to trigger Intel. 3 spaces away. He can move an enemy 1 space. I'm going to move him to there. That is our turn done. No threat. Crisis on strength 7. We look at the bottom of the deck. It's mobilize. We are safe. Then we do an event. Sharpshooters or pistol move 2. So he's going to go 1, 2. And then he will go 1, 2. Then a melee will attack at 0. If no enemy attacked, when you play a skill card here, if this action slot has 6 or more strength, spawn a reinforcement. Ooh, that's dirty. So we've done that. That is 6. We'll bin that off. That is also a crisis. Flip, strategize, we're absolutely fine. We will bury those and we will do an event. 1 pistol shoots at range 2. This one is going to shoot Mando. I'm going to use defend to block it. Gone. Was that at 6? 6 plus another one at range 2. Is that a pistol one? It is not. But he's already the same enemy may attack both times. He's going to hit for 1. Mando, guys, Mando is down to 1 health. If Mando takes 1 more point of damage, it is game over. Oh, this is so tense. End of turn. Draw 2 cards. This is actually a challenge. This is a big challenge. Okay, so right, we need to do this. If Mando takes a point, we're dead. Mando is going to... We can't use any skill cards abilities. And then move in 1 space. Move it 1 space. Right. Okay. Right. We're not triggering anything just yet. If we put something in plan, Blaster is going to activate. Mando will die. So we can't do that. We need to be very careful here. So Mando is going to trigger this number 2. No. If we do this, after you use a skill card's ability, during this action, after you use a skill card's ability, deal 1 damage to a character. During this action. So we can't do any plans. If we do any plans, we're going to get pinged. So the best thing to do would be Oh God, this is terrifying. I think we're going to... So I can't use that, because I will use it, get pinged for damage, and I'll lose my defend card. So it's pointless. So I think what we can do is I'm going to put Beskar there. I am then going to use, at range 1, I'm going to move an enemy 1 space. That's that done. Then I'm going to use the Mandalorian's mobilize ability. Discard during your action step to move up to 2 spaces, ignoring enemy abilities. Mando is now there. We've still got an action left. Whew. We are then going to use Escort. We're going to move him a space into there. That is the end of turn. We check for events. No events. We draw 2. This is incredibly dangerous. And the problem is we are now waiting for Migs, because Migs just needs to get into there. All of his cards now are essentially dead. We can't use Plan because we'll take a point of damage. So Migs is going to move 2. We draw a dual card. We reduce it by the strength. It's reduced by 0, which is good. 1, 2. He's there. I am then going to pass turn. I'm going to discard all of these because you can do that. And I will draw 4 more. New round, no events. All we need to do now is get Migs into this area. We're going to... No, we can't use that, because if it goes to 0, we've messed up. We're going to put 4 there. We need to draw a dual card, reduce it by the amount, reduces by 0. Migs now goes into there. Mission complete. Oh my God, guys, that was so tense. That was the closest we've ever been to losing. Mando taking 1 more point. I had to be very tactile of what I was doing there. Any more of those, and we'd be triggering things, triggering events. Yeah, ping damage, we would have died, but that is mission 3 complete. So let's go to the narrative deck. After you complete your 3rd game, win or lose, flip the card, follow instructions. End of 3rd game. Add the following 10 cards to your game. 7 skill cards. Shuffle these into their matching decks. The Mandalorian does not receive a new card at this time. 3 event cards. Shuffle these into the event deck. So we have 10 new cards. So IG gets a new one. Vizsla, Big Lad, Migs, move 1 character from your... Move 1 damage from your character to a damaged enemy. Ooh. Lots of new stuff. Cara Dune gets 1 Grief Karga. These are the ones I want to look at. We have Panic. Here they come on long shots. Let's take a look. Move 1 space toward the nearest face down threat, ignoring enemy abilities. Oh, that's us. That's us running. Here they come. All melee, move 3. Wow. And then long shot. Okay. Begin 4th game. When you're ready to play your next game, set up mission 4. And then we'll stop there and we'll flip it when we do that. Mission 4 is the final one of Season 1 of The Mandalorian. Very excited to do that. I will get all of their decks upgraded and we will take on the finale. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being with me with this game. I really do love this game. I'm a massive fan of Star Wars, massive fan of The Mandalorian, and I hope you're enjoying it too. Take care, my friends. Until next time.